Stay with me as we expand our knowledge with videos from all over the internet that's going to make you rethink everything. Let's just that.
If you were known to be argumentative or have a strong personality or opinionated by your family when you were young, I want you to consider that perhaps you got those labels because there was no one actually interested in listening to you or giving you the time and place and space to be heard. And so naturally, there was someone that was trying to shut you down, and when they couldn't do that, you got this label of, oh, she's got a sassy mouth, or she's always got something to say, she talks back. Actually, that was just you trying to meet your needs, and the adult in the room didn't recognize that and didn't make space for it.
Regain, fellas. She says she needs space. There's another nigga involved. If she hates her ex, that's because she's in love with him, and all it takes is for him to act right, and she's the fuck up out of there. If all her friends are single, the bitch is cheating. If she never had a father, chances are she will not respect you. If she start acting like everything you do and say is annoying her, that's because she's entertaining another nigga that she thinks is better than you in this current moment. If she's never attempted to pay for a date, that's because the bitch is a user and a leech, and all it takes is for you to tell her no for her to be gone. If she answering all your calls and all of that, that don't mean a fuck ass thing. It could be a nigga next to her playing the silent game. Guess what? If you only texting her and when you talk to her it's only in the car or on the go, but you never talk to her while she's at home, and when you do ain't nobody else there, that's because a nigga lives there. If she can't talk at night or she goes to sleep really fucking early, I bet the fuck she do, because that other nigga's putting her to sleep. He's digging her the fuck down. If she posts half naked pictures on the motherfucking internet, she's for the goddamn streets. If she can't conduct herself as a woman, the bitch cannot be a wife. If she sleeps with you on the first night, guess what? She's done that shit before. And granted, there's a first time, but baby, that was not the first motherfucking time, I promise you. If she calls you out your name and regurgitates information when y'all arguing, the bitch cannot be trusted. The man she hates the most is the one that she's the fucking love with. And if she admit to a small lie, leave the bitch. Because we don't admit to small lies, baby. We got bigger and bigger and bigger lies to unpack within that small motherfucking lie. And guess what? She don't respect her parents. The bitch ain't never going to respect you. It's simple as that. You're welcome.
Few things that I learned that I'm definitely going to pass on to my daughters. If it feels weird, it is weird. People's spirit cannot hide what they feel about you. If they don't clap for you during your wins and they're only available to hear about all your hard times, they're rooting for your demise. If a man has multiple kids and you have none, run. Run. I don't care what society says about marriage, but marriage is always the goal. If you're in a relationship with somebody, before you go ahead and give them crouch candy, you need to make sure that they are willing to commit to you. No glorified babysitters. We're not doing that shit no more. Be honest with yourself about the places that you keep yourself in mentally, physically, and emotionally. A lot of times, depression and feeling sad is because we've kept ourselves in a place for too long versus learning the lesson and just attempting to move on, or just straight up moving on. I don't care what you've been through, how many hardships that you've had, you can always make it through. Like life is a series of lessons, some ups and some downs. Keep it fucking pushing. Faith is everything. I don't care what things may look like around you, still know that God is. And everything that is happening is being orchestrated specifically for your good. Keep fucking going.
And quite frankly, I think there's a lot of people that want to humble Clark, and even if it's subconscious, I think a lot of people are aware that the easiest way to humble a woman is for her to be with a man that she is not equally yoked with. Said before, I used to share stories about my life with the intent of the message behind it to be, if I can do it, anyone can do it. But I figured out very quickly that was exactly why people didn't like me. Because if someone shows you that the obstacle that became a brick wall in your life is actually a hurdle, then you might have to stop blaming external circumstances and do something.
The title of my story is How My Ex ex ended up killing himself over me. You can search up his name, Juan Ramirez Monteroso, on Google. You can find his obituary and everything. I got receipts. I met this dude in like 6th grade and we started talking. Well, I ended up going to ACJC, which is a children's jail, because I got into a pretty heated fight with this girl and I put her in the hospital. Long story short, my mama put me up for adoption and I moved out to California. Well, him and me stayed together for like 4 years until I ended up moving back to my hometown in Indiana. Well, keep in mind, I was loyal to this man. Like, we would break up and I really wasn't trying to get into any other relationship because I really genuinely thought I was in love with him. Well, I come back to surprise him or whatever, and I pull up to the festival, you know, all done up, looking cute. I'm like, I'm gonna reunite with my baby. No. He at the festival with another bitch. I'm like, I'm not even gonna do too much. I basically tell him I know what's up. He's like telling me, oh, I'm so in love with you. Let me make it up to you. You know, so we get together off and on because he continued to cheat on me. At some point, like, I was just over it. I was like, okay, you're gonna continue cheating on me. Whatever, fuck you. I'm basically ignoring his calls, ignoring his text messages, this, that, and the other. Well, he show up to my house drunk and high, talk about, I'm in love with you, I need you back, da 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 da, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you need to leave before I call the cops. Like, I'm not having none of this. I tried with you for 5 years. For 5 years of my life. Gave my virginity to you, all types of stuff. And you really did me dirty. So, after he leaves, I have not heard from this man, have not talked to him. I look on the news, I kid you not, he overdosed and killed himself. I put it on the Queens that my story is true. Thank you so much for having me on your live. Thank you everybody who voted for me. Y'all some real ones.
I had met this guy through a mutual friend.
Tell us.
And
we like to hear,
we had,
right?
Text a few times. Finally decided that we were going to go out on a date tonight. He is literally tall, dark, and handsome. He happens to be 6'2". I happen to be 5 feet. Well, that's what it says on my license, but we all know I'm 4'11". He texts me and he says, outside. Okay, so I went outside. I opened up my front door and this man is standing on my porchway. He reached in to give me the biggest bear hug I have ever had in my entire life. Now, mind you, again, he's 6'2". Y'all, why did this man swing me around in a full circle, place me down, then tap me on the top of my head and proceeded to tell me how cute I was? I don't know how I feel about that, because after he put me down and tapped me on top of my head and told me how cute I was, he said, boop. I said, that's it. I said, can you just excuse me for a second? I came back into my house and I closed my door. I locked the lock and I came back and changed into my pajamas. And I don't even know if he pulled off. I don't even know if he's still out there at this point. I don't care. Did that really just happen?
Psychology life hacks. The quieter you are in a conversation will make the other person try to fill the void, and they'll likely overshare and tell you something you want to know. There's something called the halo effect, where if you have one characteristic about you that is admirable, people will assume that everything else about you is admirable too. Only 7% of communication comes from the words we say. 55% is from our body language. If you want to know if somebody likes you, check and see if they are mimicking any of your things you're doing. It's called the chameleon effect. People mimic the people they like. This one's good in dating. It's called, it starts with a P, I don't remember, but it's basically where if you expect more from somebody, they are going to perform better just because of those expectations. The more we're exposed to something, including a person, the more we like it, or them, including looks. So if you see somebody more, you'll find them more attractive. Doing a small favor for somebody will make them like you more. You can also trick people into thinking that they like you by asking them to do something for you. I feel like a lot of people know this one, but it's one of my favorites. If there's something that you want, ask for something bigger or more extravagant before you ask for what you want. If you want $50, ask for $100 first, and then ask for $50. People will trust you more if you compliment them. This one is so weird, but people will like you more if you ask them for help. I guess people just really want to be desired or something. What do you do with that?
Narcissists like to surround themselves with sparkly people, but not too many, and they can't shine too brightly. You know, the type of person that just walks into a room and it brightens up, and people often describe these people as like sunshine. Narcissists love them because of their brightness that so many people are naturally drawn to. Mirrors a narcissist's belief of being grandiose. They, the bright person, are exactly who the narcissist feels that they are. The problem here is a narcissist has to be the best. So as soon as that person's brightness feels like it may be outshining them, they will decide that your light needs to be put out. This is why we so often see very bright and bubbly people falling prey to a narcissist, because initially the narcissist is adoring of this bright and bubbly person. They crave their brightness. They crave the bright person's very authentic gravitational pull that they have on other people. Then they very slowly but surely dim the light of their victim. And if they haven't managed to dim that person's light, if it shines way too brightly and they haven't been able to catch this person as a proper cemented victim, they will decide that that person has done wrong to them for whatever reason, and they will discard them as quickly as possible. Because the bright person is no longer any use to them. They are no longer serving a purpose to the narcissist. They are no longer doing their job of boosting the narcissist's ego. Instead, their brightness shone a big fat light on the darkness of the narcissist, and that is a darkness they never want to look at, because of course the narcissist is perfect. I'm Claire, I'm a life and ADHD coach. I talk about narcissists occasionally because the ADHD community tend to be sucked into those sorts of relationships. Follow for more.
When you are an extremely highly intelligent individual, like an extremely highly intelligent individual, your intelligence actually becomes a problem. Your mind works so quickly and you need a lot of intellectual stimulation, so much so that it might be difficult to get it from a normal life. The only way to stop this mind from racing is by developing an addiction. Now, there are different types of addictions that highly intelligent individuals seem to develop. A lot of extremely highly intelligent individuals end up abusing drugs. And in the worst cases, they end up unaliving themselves. Another way to get that sufficient intellectual stimulation that you need as an extremely highly intelligent individual is by participating in criminal life. You might be disappointed about how the world works, or you might be disappointed in the people around you and in their intelligence, or the lack of it. So you develop your own set of rules on how to work in the world, and you end up choosing a criminal life. Another way this disappointment in how the world works manifests in highly intelligent individuals is becoming an extremist, which also provides some sort of a intellectual stimulation and also a coping mechanism with their emotional disorder.
Someone who's wrongly taken power or oppressed people are never going to admit that they've done that, and I'll tell you why. That's because they're not ashamed of their actions. They're not ashamed that they've done that. They feel nothing about that. What they're ashamed about and humiliated about is the fact that they couldn't have done what they did without oppressing people. They can't just do it normally. They can't have what they want without tricking people. That's humiliating. It's embarrassing, and they're never going to confront that. So don't wait for them to confront that, the what they've done, because first of all, they're not going to feel bad about what they've done if they've chosen to do that. They feel justified, or it wouldn't be possible. Number two, and I think this is what people can't see, is that they're not going to admit that because they do feel deep shame and humiliation, but not for the reason you think. It would require them to admit their own inadequacy, and that's an injustice they're really just not going to stand for no matter what. So don't require that from them, whoever that is for you, or at least don't make it a prerequisite for your own healing.
As an adult, nobody prepared me for the amount of cheating that you see in the workplace. These married people and people in relationships be bold as heck at work with what they do openly out in public. They be attached to the opposite gender's hip every day, and their significant others have no idea. But everyone at work sort of looks the other way because they don't want to stick their nose in other people's business. It's crazy. Some of these people claim they're happy with their situation at home and they still be doing their significant others dirty like that. But also, why do you have to make all of us an accomplice in what you got going on and making us feel guilty that we even know that you're doing what you're doing, but your significant other doesn't? I don't want to see that crap. Do better.
Letting your daughter go over your brother's house should not be a problem, but not in this case. A dad let his 8-year-old go over to his brother's house, but when she came home, he noticed she was bleeding in between her legs. He asked her, "What happened to you?" She said, "My uncle hurt me real bad, and when he hurt me, I won't stop bleeding in between my legs." The daddy rushed out the house, ain't say what he was going, what he was going to do, didn't even tell nobody what was going on. He went straight to his brother's house. When he got to his brother's house, he knocked on the door. As soon as his brother came to the door, he unalived him. He didn't let him talk. He didn't let him get a word in. As soon as his brother came to the door, he unalived him. And after unaliving him, he went and took his body and cut it up piece by piece and laid it all throughout the river.
What?
When they found most parts of his brother's body, it was in a suitcase. He cut that man up about his baby. And nobody is upset, which I don't blame them. People be so weird. You can't even let your kids go over to your family house without wondering if they're going to be okay. Is these people sick? Do they look at kids different? Like, this is disgusting. She was 8 years old. Why are you attracted to your niece? This is your brother's daughter. Have y'all heard about this story? This is crazy. Let's talk about this in the comments. Was y'all able to stay the night at y'all family member house coming up?
Today, I'm going to teach you how to speak the male language. All men know this, but most women don't know about this. Do you know how to tell if a man is rich and resourceful? There's only one reliable indicator. It's not his job, not his car, his house, his watch, or his outfit. The only reliable indicator to tell if a man is truly wealthy and resourceful is by looking at his woman. All men know about this. It's like a bro code. That's why when you're with a guy who is in his true masculine and who's got a provider mindset, you don't need to bring anything else to the table apart from your presence. Because the presence of a beautiful, elegant woman alone makes him look so good around other men. That's why to make a man like you more, it's not by you doing more for him. It's by you doing more for yourself, prioritizing your own pleasure, make sure that you're happy, healthy, and you look good. Because all men understand that his woman is a reflection of him.
Yeah, right.
If you want to learn more about how men think and how they operate, go to the top of my page. I've got some resources for you.
I like that. I like that so much. The last part was mind-blowing, and I like that. And we've come to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos like this. Click on the notification bell icon so that any video that I post, you will be the first to get it. Adios amigos, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.